So here we are going to plan a colorful value scale. So a value scale typically is what you would see here. It is going dark to light or light to dark using one color. So for instance, this is done with a gray, so I would do this maybe with a pencil. That's normally how I would ask my students to create a value scale. But for this assignment, we're going to do a value scale using color. And that does not mean I'm going to take one color and use the one color the whole time. It means I'm literally going to determine the value and weight of the colors that I want to use in my artwork. So this gives me 8 boxes. This does not necessarily mean you have to do all 8 colors in your assignment, but for the sake of this activity, I am going to do 8 colors. So I have picked out my 8, and I picked out what I thought was a nice variety of showing darker colors on the spectrum and lighter colors on the spectrum. Okay, and so I looked at all my colors and I started determining what I thought the order that they would be in. Okay, now you can do this obviously, so I'm like putting in the order of what I think, but this might not be correct when you go to draw it on paper. You might realize, oh, you know what, this blue is actually lighter than this blue or whatever, and you might have to switch them around. So I actually did one already, and I did not agree with this 5 and 6 here. So I'm going to now do it in the way that I think it needs to be done. Okay, so number 1, yellow is my lightest. So I am going to put yellow in here. So this is my lightest value if I'm doing a colored value scale. And then I have my next one. And you want to make sure you're like coloring with equal weight, because obviously if I color this super light, it's going to look lighter than the yellow. But color with the same amount of weight or pressure that you're doing the one that came before, so it's even all the way down. Okay, so now I have my colored value scale, and so in my eyes, this looks pretty accurate. So anywhere on my image that I would need to show darker sections, shadows, I would be choosing more from these colors here. If I'm going for lighter sections where like sun is shining, I would obviously be living in this world here, and then those middle grays would be these colors here. So this way I'm still adding the darks and the lights, but now I'm thinking about it in terms of color.